not very dense. So I can go back in here and double click on it, and I'm going to change it to 0.5. Makes it a little more dense, and so you can just make it, whatever size you want. Let's make it 0.1. All right, that makes it nice and dense, so we're going to be going there. Now, over on the other side, the only thing we have that's really very different is it says 6-inch minimum. So I'm going to go ahead and start my polyline on this side from the top and go down 6. So I want it to go down 6, so I type in 6. Then I want to go down and I want to go in this direction. So first of all, I'm going to go down slightly like this. I'm going to kind of pull it down a little bit. I'm going to click. And then I'm going to go ahead, and at that point, I'm going to make a second polyline. Because I want that one to be standalone. And so I'm going to go here, like this, like that, and just kind of like angle it around. And kind of that, I suppose. We'll just stop there. All right, and once we have it there, we'll go there, and make it a spline. All right, get that kind of a look there. And then that one has to have earth as to be a hatching. So we go to here, and we go to our hatch pattern, and we're going to make that earth. And so earth is down here, and it looks like this. And so go ahead and go inside earth. That's too dense. So we're going to say, oh, how about 4? Let's try this. And that's a little better. I think it's even better than my original drawing I gave you guys. So that's essentially how you get those items in place. Now, moving on up, I want to put in you got footing, you got foundation, you got a few other things here. So we're going to go to footing here. You guys okay?
Yeah, we're just talking about this drawing.
All right, okay. I'm trying to, I know this is like, probably thrilling, especially this time of night. It's like this guy's droning on about how to do this stuff, but it's actually pretty cool, and these are just some tricks that you guys actually will use in real life. All right, so going over here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over an inch. And we do this. All right. Actually, no, half an inch. Put it too far. Okay, so I'm going to type in 0.5, and there that is. Okay, so now this is actually the stud, and now that gives me something on top of the stud. This is the whole reason I'm even doing this right now, is to show you this. So now what you've got is something that is it's a drawing enigma. How did it get there? Okay, what do we got here? And what I'm talking about right now is this particular beast right here. Okay, you got this. That is an insulation hatch pattern. That's the universal symbol used for hatch. So how do we do this? Well, it looks really nice, and you could try to draw this, but it'd take you a long time. I heard someone say you couldn't do it already. Yeah, you could. A few other things you could do it, but there's a very cool and easy way to do it. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So what you do is, again, since your teacher gave you a template, there's a secret going on here with these layers. Let's see what the secret is. So if I take a look at my layers, I'm going to find some things out about what's going on with them. So in my layers, they've got some stuff going on inside them that is not typical. So let's find out what that is. So I'm going to maximize all my columns so I can read them. And I see that my line types, they're not all continuous. And one of those that's not continuous is my bat layer. It is using a line type called batting. So let's look at that. Well, I see that batting right here, it has this appearance, this description right there. So how does this work? By the way, if you ever need more line types, you just load them up. You click the load button, and you go out here, and there's a whole bunch, a whole library of them, for different kinds of needs and so forth. So that's how your line types would work. So in this case, batting is what's going on with the bat layers. So all I have to do is change my layer to bat, and now watch what happens when I start to draw a line. So if I go ahead and start to draw the line like this, now ain't that nice, okay? Looks good, except it's too thin. So the way I fix that is like I do anything else in AutoCAD. I click on it, I right-click and choose what? Go to Properties. And I change the scale, the line type scale from 1, let's try 4. And that looks pretty darn good. Fits right inside that cavity pretty nicely. So that is how you would do that, and then you do your break line that would actually connect all the way through and so forth. So these are all things, these are just some of the things you're going to run into with this drawing. And with some of the same things we run into on other drawings, but this is something that you're going to go through this and you're going to make it work. But there actually are, as we go through this, there are line types that are associated with the different things. You'll notice that the bolt also has a line type associated. That's here. There's a bolt layer. Let me take a look at that one quickly here. Now the bolt layer, that does not have a line type associated with it. So what we will have to do is actually change its line type to something like dash and change the line type scale for that. So I'll let you guys figure that out. You guys can do that by clicking on the object and doing that as well. Or you can do it yourself by going in and changing the bolt line type right there. You can do it that way as well. So a couple different ways to go on doing it. The original drawing that I have right here, if you want to know the secret about that, this right here, so did I make a block out of it? No, I made a polyline out of it. Okay, so if I go to here, go to properties, you'll see that my line type is hidden 2, and the line type scale is 2. So those are the values I use to make my bolt right there. And that is pretty much most of the things you're going to need. Other than that, there are some leaders in the drawing. And when you put your leaders in, you're going to want to do this kind of a thing. Like if I'm going to put in a leader, you're going to want to go ahead and be on the dimensions layer. Actually, no, your leaders are going on the text layer. So your leaders go on the text layer. That's why they show up black, because it's a white-black layer. And then you go to leader, and we touch here, and you always click with the arrow which one first, and you pull it off, you get an arrow, and I'm going to go ahead and start to type in. Now you're going to see something here. You'll notice that that's too big. It's going to be 2 inches. It needs to be 3/4. So I'm going to type in 0.75. And this is going to give me proper size text. So as you put in your text, make sure you change it to 0.75 instead of 2. That's one thing I guess the template did not have in it. But that's how you'll do that. So you want to make sure that you make your leaders with a text height of 3/4 of an inch. And that is pretty much what goes on inside this drawing. I went through a lot pretty rapidly. I know I did. Hopefully you guys were able to follow most of it. Any questions in particular about anything in particular? Do you need me to repeat anything? I went too fast on something?
Do you right click to the leaders left side?
Well, actually, that's a good question. Let me do that again. Let's do the leaders one more time. So if I go to leader, and I want to make a leader like for here, if I click on here, I go ahead and click on the second point, and then you're going to notice what happens here is it automatically brings up my text editor. Okay, so this, you go up here and you say, I want it to be 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch, and that's how you change it right there. You can also change after you put it in. You know, so you put it in and say, oh man, you know, it's too big, you know. Another thing you could just copy. Once you get a good one, you just copy that around. You know, you can do it that way too. So if you want to do it that way, just copy it, boom, put it here, and then you can just grab it and, you know, change where it's pointing to, and then kind of move it around. And then you double click on the text and change this to, change the text to something else. Like that. So that's how we go ahead and make that happen. So a few different things there, a few different things happening in there. And yeah, so this is kind of like doing a puzzle, you know, as far as that goes. You got all the tools in front of you, you know what they've got to look like. The layers that you have that are on the sheet that I will hand out to you, they are correct and they correspond to the template because I printed it from the same file. So we're good to go there. So if there are no questions, I'm going to turn the lights back on and I'll pass these out. Who needs one of these? Who needs one of these?